So you want to swap out your old sprinkler system and upgrade to a new one. I'm going to show you what you might encounter so it's an easy process for you, and I'm going to assume that you've never done this before. Assuming you already have a system installed, you need to make sure the new one that you get can take over what your system that you already have. So you might have 8 zones or 12 zones. You need to make sure that you get a system that can handle that many zones. So now it used to be that you would always mount it outside, and that's because when you're working on your sprinklers or you need to run one zone, you didn't want to run inside your house or a basement or wherever and push a button and then run outside to work on your sprinklers and then run back in and shut it off. So you needed an easy access, but now that you can control it with your phone, you can just put this anywhere you want. Now, why would you keep it outside? Well, because your wiring's already outside, and unless you want to rewire it, going through your walls and stuff like that, maybe that's easy for you, but most people aren't going to want to do that. So what ImoLaza did is they also sell a outside weatherproof enclosure that you can put your controller in, and so that's what we're going to do. Careful when you open these, sometimes there's wasps. I've had that happen to me. Before you disconnect anything, we're going to take a photo, and if you have any duplicate colors, you might want to put like a little black dot, get a Sharpie marker and see the green. You don't want to get mixed up to which color's what, so you can put a little mark and then take your photo, because we're going to disconnect these and hook them up in the same order to the new system. This is sprinkler wire. It's not braided. It's a solid copper wire. If you flex this too much back and forth, it will snap. So these are the commons right here. They're all the same. So I could take this common wire and put it in there. It doesn't matter. This one can go in there. This yellow is hooked up to 1. That's station 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have about 7 stations here. So I need at least 7 stations because I have some garden boxes that I'm going to need to wire. So I'm going to go up to 10 stations on my new controller. Disconnect the wires. Just go ahead and unplug it. This little flat head, you don't need to unscrew these all the way, just enough to loosen them. There we go. They have this paper with this simple wiring explanation. They explain what these abbreviations are: COM for the common, the sensors, and simple wiring. They give you this template. You put this on your wall. It makes it really easy to drill the holes so you don't misalign them. You can just, there's a keyhole slot. You could just hang it like that if you want. But to make it more secure, you put this on your wall, drill the holes, and it's guaranteed to fit. I assume that these holes are different. They have to be different than these ones. Yeah, they are different. You're only drilling this deep, not much. Oh, by the way, why am I replacing the other one? Well, the Wi-Fi totally stopped working. It was spotty for years, and I just got sick of it, and I was about ready to buy a new one. So ImoLaza at that same time actually sent me an email asking if I wanted to try this one out. So they sent me this to test out. All right, just so it doesn't look like we live next door to a shooting range, I'm going to fill in some of these holes. There we go. And by the way, they do give you these stickers that you can put on each wire before you disconnect it completely from your old system. You can take off a sticker here and wrap it around. I know that this is common, so I'm going to put the C sticker on there. Here it is, all labeled. You can see that there's the green common. They only had 2 common stickers, but I remember that that's the 3rd common. And it's not common that green is your common. Usually they're going to be just white or black for the common, but for some reason this one was one as well. These wires are unused. They come with a set amount of strands and you don't always need them, so I just twisted those off to the side. Just don't worry about it if you have unused wires in there. Make sure you have Wi-Fi signal powerful enough to reach the area that you have. You don't want to hook all this up and not have signal strength. So check on your phone and see if you're getting good Wi-Fi signal. And if it's really weak, I would consider moving this timer to a new location. Here's the power plug that's going to go back there. So we need to wire a plug to the outlet, and you can just snip off the old plug and use that. I have this computer cable that I'm going to be using. color matches better. And twist them together like that. Put on a wire nut. Just keep spinning the nut until you get a good amount of resistance. White to white. By the way, it goes without saying, you're not plugging this in before. All right, do I need to say that? I'm gonna say it. Do not plug this in. Wait till later. Hook up that. White to white and black to black. I'm gonna cram this wire in between these two parts there so you can't really pull it. Now I'll probably go get a cable gland or cable connector to plug up this hole so that I don't get wasps. And when you see this sticker, mains means the main power. So that would be this outlet. So what they're telling you is make sure that the plug is disconnected before you mess around in there. That's all. All right, now it's time to hook up all these wires. Now remember, any common can go to any common. It doesn't matter which one. If I turn it counterclockwise, it opens up. I put in the wire. And then it pinches it. Once you've installed it, give it a wiggle and try and pull it out. Make sure it's in tight. By the way, 6 and 9 don't have a line underneath, so you might want to note that. And you can see there's only 2 common slots here. I can hook up, because I got 3 common wires, I can hook up 2 and 1. I'm going to do that. While you're hooking these wires up, be sure that there's not excess wire showing. If you're doing this and these wires kind of cross over and happen to touch the neighbor, it's not gonna work well when running systems. So snip them short. That way you won't have any power bleeding over to other wires, causing problems. Give them all a little tug and they're all secure, all locked in, nice and clean. Gonna plug in the power here. And that's it. It's lit up and blinking. It looks good. I can put the cover on. And by the way, the manual is very good. Has a lot of QR codes that you can watch videos and take you to links and web pages for. It explains things that I didn't cover, like the rain sensors. Yeah, it works with rain sensors if you have them. I'm going to download the app, learn a bit about it, program some things, and I'll show you how it works. I've been using the ImoLaza controller for about 2 months now, and I've not found any problems with it at all. This has been watering just fine. The grass looks nice and healthy, and it's not watering every day. These are fertilized burns. Yeah, that's my fault. So the backyard, also really nice grass, plenty of water without being too much. But I also have it watering some garden beds that kind of went crazy here. Look at these. This basil's huge. And it knows that this is a raised box. Little sprayers in here. Let's see what we got. Jalapenos, basil, a lot more jalapenos. One of the features I really like about it that my older timer didn't have is a soak feature. Sometimes when you're running your sprinklers for maybe 10 minutes, it can just run downhill or it can run into the gutter because the soil can't absorb it as fast as it's coming out of the sprinkler heads. So if you turn on the soak feature, it will run the sprinkler timer for about 3 minutes or so, and then it will cycle to the next station and then come back around and water it again. So it's had enough time to absorb the water. Another feature that's really cool about this is it connects to weather stations that are local. There's thousands of stations all across the US. So it connects to that and it monitors that weather. So it knows if we got rain or if it's high winds or if it's gonna get sub-zero temperatures, all those things and what the actual temperature is of the day, so it knows maybe it needs to water a bit more. So I've noticed, I've looked at the history on this app, and it's showing me that I have, you know, days where it doesn't water at all, which is great, and then days where it waters a lot, maybe just a little bit. That's a really great feature. My last timer would just, either it's on or off, but this one will adjust, and I like that it's not watering all the time. I'm not getting mushrooms growing up in my lawn anymore. So what other features? So looking at the app, it tells you the weather that you can expect. It has this button here that I can run a sprinkler. So let's just do that now. Let's run the front strip right there. Let's see, front strip, quick run, hit and go and play. Let's see how fast this is. Now I turned off my Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so it's going through the cell network and connecting to the timer, which is really cool. It doesn't have to, you don't have to be within Wi-Fi range, but it'll also work that way. So I'll turn that off. If you click on zones, you can see all the different zones you have, and you can add a picture of your specific zone, and you can set up whether it's a garden box, whether it's shrubs. You set the kind of soil that you have, you set the kind of sprinklers you have, and you can also set up the square footage. It's really important to set all those as accurate as you can, because it will use that info to calculate the best frequency to water. And I've noticed it's pretty accurate. I was hesitant to have my sprinklers not water every day. That's what I was used to, and now I would have it run every morning, you know, I think I'd skip one day a week. But they're saying if you do that, the roots will never go deep. You'll use way more water. You'll get fungus and mushrooms and things. Your grass won't be as healthy. If you skip watering and just give it a chance for the roots to go down, you'll use a lot less and your grass will be healthier. My suggestion is, if what you have working in your home is just running and it's not broken, don't upgrade it, because it's not really worth it. I think with this, because you can save so much water and it can run really well automatically, it'd probably be worth it for you just to ditch your old timer and get one that connects to weather stations like this one. When you're setting up your zones and entering the information, know your soil type and know the square footage. 7 by 29 and 11 by 20. You add those up and you get 423. Now I'm going to go into the app and enter in the correct number, and it will adjust these for that. Let the software do what it does, because it does it really well. So the information it's using to dictate exactly how to water your landscape is based on several things. The first is what you've entered about it. The square footage, your sprinkler type, is there a slope, what's your soil like, what kind of plants are there, did I miss any? How much sunlight it's exposed to. So it takes all those things to account and goes, okay, I know what you have, this is how much it's gonna water. So after you enter in all of your landscape data, then it's gonna look at the information from the weather stations. What's been the temperature around you? What has the wind been like? The humidity? How much precipitation do you have? How much sunlight have you been getting? So you won't be watering when you don't need it. And if you have a heat wave, then it's gonna be watering more than it would be regularly programmed to. There really are way more features than I can go over in this video. They have different schedules for almost anything. They have a new grass schedule. So if you just planted, you can tell it that it's brand new grass, so it knows that it's gonna have to water several times during the day to get those seeds going. Just so many awesome things. You can use this from anywhere in the world I don't know why you would, but you know, if you want to run your sprinklers from another country, you could just hit go or tell it to stop. Anyway, I really like this controller. I got no complaints about it. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and put them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. Or, you know, if you have one of these yourself and you've used it, let me know your experience. And I will give updates on how this has been running in the future, because it's only been a few months. But if you want to know, you can leave a comment and I will let you know how it's been running. But I'm very happy I took the time to switch it out, and not watering every day. I love that. I've noticed the water usage already start to go down. So it does what it says it does, and that's awesome. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see you for the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.